Before we get into today's subject matter, I do want to let you all know that I've decided to take 3 days off come Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll be returning on Tuesday. I need, first and foremost, a little bit of a break, and which is saying something. Lots of things has been going on in my personal life, and I just need to take a step away for a little bit and focus on my mental health and do things that set my heart on fire again. Doing this show is not an easy thing to do. Let me just point that out. It has taken a toll. So I will be taking 3 days off, but rest assured I'll be back on the Tuesday after I've taken a little bit of a break. So with that all being said, my friends, I want to let you all know about the fallout regarding the Bob villain at Glastonbury chanting death, death to the IDF. That chant went absolutely global. Millions of people around the world saw it, and the fallout has been immense. Bob Villain actually received, I think it was over 20 something thousand followers, new followers, I should say, those people that seemingly love terrorism and love to destroy or end the lives of Israelis, because that's exactly what he chanted. And by the way, the other nut job band that was basically telling people to go and end the lives of their local MP, they won't face terrorism charges at all. But thing is, Tommy Robinson won't unlock his phone and he gets thrown in solitary confinement, or he gets thrown in solitary confinement in the worst prison in the UK for what exactly? Well, for a civil offence. How about that? Now, according to the police, Glastonbury Festival, video footage and audio from Bob Villain, which is supposed to be a anti-Bob Dylan take, believe it or not, because Bob Dylan was actually Jewish and a fan of, I think he was a fan of the Jews. I'm not sure if he was actually Jewish or not. Maybe you guys in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong with that. But the police have released a statement saying, following the completion of the assessment process, we have decided further inquiries are required and a criminal investigation is now being undertaken. A senior detective has been appointed to lead this investigation. This has been recorded as a public order incident at this time. While our inquiries at an early stage, the investigation will be evidence-led and we will closely consider all appropriate legislation, including relating to hate crimes. Well, if it's a hate crime to say something on Facebook or on X or on Instagram, for example, and you get locked up in prison for saying something that you said in anger and then you delete it not long after and you get 2 years in prison, why isn't this considered the same thing, if not worse? The woman that is in prison at the moment did absolutely nothing wrong. Sorry, I'm blanking on her name, but it's absolutely outrageous. Now, the thing that's happened as a result of Bob Villain chanting death to the IDF, he's lost his visa privileges. They've been revoked from the US, was dropped by his agency, lost his entire US tour, and now faces a UK criminal investigation. His failed career is now officially dead in the water. That is according to many, many reports. And Bob Villain actually goes on X and put a post on the 15th of the 4th, 2021, saying, I swear I'm going to write a book for all the dum-dums in bands that can't help but make terrible business decisions and cry about them later. Well, Bob, seems like you're crying about them now, as it would seem. So there is this kind of moment on Piers Morgan Uncensored. I think it's Taylor Lorenz is trying to defend the indefensible, like it is truly outrageous how you've got loads of these dingbats that think that it's acceptable to defend a chant that is quite evidently pointed at killing the likes of Israelis or Israeli soldiers because they believe that the Israeli soldiers are committing a genocide in Gaza at the moment, which is not true at all. But anyway, that's what these people think, and they spout a lot of the hateful rhetoric, and they try and make the agenda out to look like they're the winners, right? So here is Hen Mazik. Don't know who he is, but he's on Piers Morgan Uncensored. I believe he's a Jew as well, and he is defending the Jews. Have a watch.
People want the public and these artists to have more positive sentiment towards the Israeli military forces.
I don't think anyone wants positive sentiment. I don't know why you twisted it around. We're saying we don't want anyone to call for the death of anyone. I mean, if you are advocating against genocide and you don't want people to be killed, how can you turn around and say at the same breath that you think chanting for death should be contextualized somehow?
Well, yeah, because again, if an army is outraged about that
calling
genocide,
for their death, that's the issue. It's not
calling for the death of a military entity that is currently committing genocide.
Taylor, you can't keep saying that.
It's a compulsory army.
You don't even believe that when you're saying it.
Yeah.
If they say death to the British Army, no one's taking that as meaning the institution. They're taking it as meaning British soldiers.
When people say death to America, they mean death to American imperialism that is subjugated them.
No, they don't. They mean death to Americans.
That's a very generous.
As the supreme leader of Iran, what they mean.
I don't think you even believe this as you're saying it, Taylor, do you?
I'm a huge supporter of free speech.
Even when people talk about killing people. All right, but let's go to Hen. Hen, Mazzy, your response to that.
What we hear when we hear death to the IDF is that the only line of defense between Jews and another Holocaust should be eradicated. And we know that it's fact because on October 7th, when the IDF wasn't prepared to what happened in Gaza, we saw the results. And thank God they came on time to stop it from happening all over. By the way, did anyone ever chanted death to Hamas in those festivals? Why is it even happening? It was truly disgusting to so many of us. I never heard about Bob Vila, I don't know if you did before, or even Kneecap. I just heard about them in this context, never heard about them before, but I think artists are using it.
Yeah, the band was Kneecap. That's what I was blanking on before. So Kneecap won't face terrorism charges, even though they they did say for people to go out and in the lives of their local MPs. And listening to Taylor Lorenz say, when you got the Iranians chanting death to America, they mean death to imperialism. Oh my goodness. Can you get even more dumb? I think you can, believe it or not. And that dumbness, I don't know why Piers Morgan has these people on. Maybe to just, I think it's somewhat of a good thing because it's exposing the brain rot that has been infesting the minds of countless, well, I call them dingbats, as you know, countless individuals that would consider themselves to be on the left. Taylor Lorenz defending literally the indefensible. Like, that is next level stupid, if you ask me. But that's what we've got a lot of these days. We've got a lot of stupid ideological maniacs running around thinking that they know more than what they're saying, and they don't know anything at all. And if you're defending death chants, you're the problem. Maybe you should look deep and hard into your soul as to why you're defending death chants. No one's saying death to Hamas, like Hen pointed out. No one's saying that. No one's chanting that in the streets. But suddenly it's death to Israel or death to the IDF, you know, and the whole world goes, yep. That's good. That's right. It's unacceptable. You shouldn't be chanting death to anyone at all. Seriously. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.